Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the King of the North League of Legends Qualifier, the second of the kind. It's going to be UoB TCA Storm taking on Divine Intervention in this round 4 game. And I'm joined by the one and only, the king of memes, the lord of puns, it's Trid.
God bless. I don't really have anything to follow from that. You did a solid job introducing me and my correct title, the only person ever to call me by my actual birth title, which is nice. But yeah, we're going to have University of Birmingham TCA Storm going up against Divine Intervention coming up very shortly for you. I mean, I've seen a lot of TCA Storm, but I don't know very much about Divine Intervention, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Divine Intervention coming from University of York. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in this game. Currently, fairly low eload team, but it is the new season. So we'll have to see if that means anything. Some of these players were plats and higher earlier on, so it shouldn't mean too much for them. But we know University of Birmingham, fantastic team, staple team in the NUL National Championship. So definitely here to play ball. They've got their coach in the lobby as well to help them out with picks and bans.
Yeah, with the thing about Birmingham is they are a staple part of the NUL, but they're always top two. If people who can throw it back to a couple of seasons go, the old fable goes that they're forever seconds. Did actually manage to pick up their first national championship win this season, which is always nice to see. It's mainly been Birmingham dominating it so far. But we're going to be looking for a very interesting time heading into the semi-finals and the wildcards in the following weeks. But we're into pick and ban already, and we're going to see what's going to be coming out here for University of Birmingham Storm versus Divine Intervention. I mean, Dowsy, you must have seen University of Birmingham a couple of times. What do you think we're going to see coming out here for picks from their end?
Not quite sure, as we see an Aatrox penned out by Daddy. Fantastic king of memes here. It's probably going to ban Ari and then Akali next. University of Birmingham very confident that they don't need to use their 3 bans. But be interesting to see what comes out of these teams. They've got a couple of new players. Blue Bear being subbed out, as well as Synergy. So they're constantly building up their team, building up their roster. They brought on the coach for Azure, of Azure, so that they'll have that advantage in picks and bans. He would have obviously scouted out Divine Intervention, so that Aatrox ban, possibly more of a target ban than University of Birmingham trolling us here, as Kindred is their second ban.
Yeah, it's nice to see they've taken out that early game strength of Kindred's, but Zed's been taken off the board as well. An incredibly strong pick, followed up by a Gangplank ban by Divine Intervention here.
Yeah, Divine Intervention, banning out that Gangplank. Such a staple champion in the top lane, can play in mid lane as well. He's the definition of power spike once he builds that Triforce, along with Corki. You just have so much additional damage that you can lay down. So they don't want to give that to Nyx or Daddy, preventing them from having that Gangplank. Such a strong champion, as Udyr are actually banned out by University of Birmingham as well.
Yeah, Udyr getting that nice percentage movement speed buff onto that Runic Echoes item, which I don't really think Riot had in mind, for Udyr to be picking this up when they buffed that. I think it's more for the junglers of old, such as Fiddlesticks, that might have benefited from it. Following up as well for Divine Intervention with a Malphite ban, which has seen a lot of popularity as of late.
Yeah, the Malphite's such a strong champion in the top lane. You can build him full tank, or you can put a little bit of damage on him as well, and he's going to do a lot. Obviously, that Unstoppable Force, such a fantastic spell for initiating fights, as Elise, the first pick up for University of Birmingham. We've seen the Queen of the Jungle a couple times. Rightfully the Queen. Rek'Sai has nothing on this champion, as the Runic Echoes, as you talked about, the intended item for Elise, and allows her to have a lot of early game presence, which she already had. That early game damage on Elise is kind of crazy. It gives her a bit of movement speed, and then Elise can kind of go a bit of a split build, building a bit off tank with some of the AP items, allowing her to be tanky, but also in her own right, a damage threat as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Elise is one of my favorite junglers at the moment as well, but not as favorite as the Bard pick. It's got to be the most enjoyable champion I've ever played in this game, and more than likely, although it can be done in the jungle, we're probably going to see that Bard being played in support with Raz009. But I would rather talk about this Poppy pick that's been locked in the top lane here. Had a lot of success as a flex pick, but has found its stable home in the top lane at the moment. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a juggernaut going into late for University of Birmingham to have to deal with.
Yeah, as you said, it could be a flex pick. So if Divine Intervention believe that another champion would be better in a certain matchup, they can flex it to the support, they can flex it to the jungle position. But as you quite rightly point out, it is the top lane where Poppy strives most. She needs that gold to become that massive juggernaut champion. The percentage health damage that she does shreds through people. She's so tanky as well. Pick up that grasp of the Undying, and you're going to sustain very nicely in lane. So fantastic pickup by Divine Intervention. Such a power pick at the moment. It's going to be the Caitlyn and Thresh picked up for this bot lane of University of Birmingham. Really nice pickups by them, able to do a lot of damage in the early game, land a hook onto Bard, try and poke him down. It's actually going to be Sivir picked up on the side of Divine Intervention, so using that spell shield to try and prevent some of the hooks coming out of Birmingham.
Yeah, it's definitely a wise decision there. You can plot the cocoon, you can block the hook. It's going to be a nice bit of survivability tool for Splaticus on this Sivir. Then we're also going to have that Lux in the mid lane. Lux is just such a powerful pick at the moment. It's seen a lot of play, relatively safe in lane, and then it can just absolutely explode teams with a low cooldown, high damage ultimate, which is always nice to see. Combining that with the rest of their team, though, it'd be really nice if Bard can land one of those Tempered Fates, lock up a couple of members, then we might see the final spark spray through the golden statues to get a couple of kills for Hurdlers. Hurdlers? Are we going to say Hurdlers?
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 Maybe.
It's the E that's throwing me.
It's Hey Dallas.
Hey Dallas. Enough about pronunciation. Kuznia and Overload have then gone ahead and locked in Darius and LeBlanc to round out the UoB TCA Storm composition.
Yeah, so that Darius in the top lane going to try and pressure in the Poppy if it ends up in the top lane. We do see Teemo hovered over by Ras. Could be just pandering to the stream a little bit with that yodel from hell, but
no one wants that.
No one wants that. No.
How is it pandering if no one wants it?
Obviously going for the Urgot, which the stream would definitely want more. So apparently hearing that Hey Dallas, as I'm going to call him, a bit of a smurf coming out of the Divine Intervention side. Apparently Diamond 1 as well, so going to be a quite interesting matchup. I was looking at all their stats, their previous season, and a lot of these players are actually new accounts, haven't actually got season 5 statistics on them, so maybe setting up a new team, maybe Divine Intervention going to be surprising us here a little bit, Tread.
I think that's a little bit of overcommitment to win a tournament here, creating entirely new accounts to like win the mind game of mediocrity by posing as gold and silver players when you've got a team like TCA Storm that has an entire lineup of diamonds. They might be going for the mind game victory there. So I think they're going a little bit in to try and win this, going that well prepared to turn up today.
Gonna see Hopping Mad actually locking in the Zac here, and not a lot of disengage on the side of Birmingham. Usually when a Zac is locked in, you pick up a Janna, and that Howling Gale just completely prevents the elastic slingshot from the Zac. But it's going to have to be Overload on that Thresh. He's going to have his flay ready. He's going to be having to stand in the exact right position as well to try and knock back Hopping Mad as he slingshots in. So they left that to last. They used their red side last pick for that jungler. Interesting strategy coming out of Divine Intervention. Usually you see a Zac locked in first, and that's when the Janna comes out. So maybe recognizing that Zach is kind of a champion that's easily countable, giving him the last pick as well.
Yeah, but to be honest, there's not really looking at their team. Other than the Poppy, there wasn't really a contested pick they were coming out with. Everything else seems fairly safe in lane as well. So they generally just had something that they weren't really afraid of counters. And like you said, maybe the Zac was the only thing they saw an obvious flaw in and decided to hold off on it. But looking at the rest of the teams, Poppy into Darius in the top lane. I mean, Poppy can get incredibly tanky, but early game, I'm fairly certain that Daddy might be able to take it away on that Darius.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Tranquila is going to have to play a very good early game because Darius does technically have the win percentage over Poppies in the history of League of Legends. So, and that's probably because Darius is such a fantastic team fighting champion more than anything, able to lay down the 5 stacks, start hemorrhaging his opponents and going crazy with his dunks. So if Silva is able to put down the pressure in the top lane early, get Daddy ahead, then it's going to mean a lot. But Tranquila,
Tra-
going to
Tranquil, I would say
Divine
Tranquilio.
Divine Intervention trolling us a little bit, but Tranquilio on that Poppy in his own right can become that split pushing madness that we so often see on a Poppy, and Hopping Mad also able to gank from such interesting positions on the map. So Daddy gonna have to be careful. It could go either way in this top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the concerns that I've always had with Zac is that he doesn't necessarily have early game strength. So when he has to go up against an Elise, who's typically known for that early game strength, it has got to put a little bit of apprehension in Hopping Mad here because he's going to have a bad time if Silver can get on top of him in those jungles. And really, that could also result in having a massive impact on the rest of his team without any jungle presence. Looking at the kind of lanes that we're dealing with here, because Nyx into Lux as well. If Herdelus doesn't actually land a binding, then he's probably going to die to Nyx. Nyx is just going to be able to just burst him, do LeBlanc things, and just have a really good time.
We often, we
yeah,
often see LeBlancs able to lay down a lot of damage with that distortion and able to pressure out the enemy laner. Probably go a bit of a corrupting potion so that he can do that, have that mana constantly in lane, and try and push out Lux, who's got quite heavy mana costs as well early game. So Nick's definitely going to be able to pressure out the Lux, especially when a binding is missed. It just allows Nick so much freedom to do what he wants.
Yeah, we just had to get through that nice little 3-minute wait time we always have about the tournament round. God bless. But now we're going into the loading screen. So we're going to be a rundown of what we're going to be seeing here today. It's going to be UoB TCA Storm going up against Divine Intervention. So in the top lane, we're going to have Daddy on that Darius, Silva on Elise, Nyx on LeBlanc, Kuznia on Caitlyn, and Overload on Fresh. And then we throw it over to the purple side. We're going to see Divine Intervention. It's Tranquilio on this Poppy. Hopping Mad 9 on Zac. Herdelus is always going to catch me off on Lux. Splaticus on Sivir, and Raz009 on that Bard. Rocking the level 5 mastery. A fellow Bard main I always love to see.
Yeah, I love to see how a Bard main is able to completely change the team fights. That Tempered Fate, just chuck it out there, lock people up, try and change the ground. Like, let's say Darius is running onto your back line, Sivir not able to quite away. Nice little Tempered Fate locks him up as well as Nyx, and then all of a sudden you're free to try and put down a lot of damage onto the rest of the people. So if Raz is able to use that ultimate from Bard correctly, going to be really interesting to see how these team fights develop.
Absolutely, we're almost about to load onto the Rift. I don't expect anyone to go very aggressive early in this matchup in terms of, I don't think we'll see many invades happening, and rather teams will opt for a defensive start. But here we are, they're loading onto the Rift for this round 4 game of the King of the North second qualifiers. Winner of these
Yeah.
qualifiers, of course, will go on to compete with University of Exeter at the live event on the 2nd of March, which you can find information about via our social media pages.
Yeah, proudly sponsored by Twitch, Null, Gamers Apparel, MSI, and Computer. Forget their name. Computer Planet. They'll all be at the event, showing off some stuff. We actually invade coming out of Divine Intervention, just laying down that cheeky ward in that brush.
Double naughty. If it had to be a flavor, it'd be extra hot. But we're going to move back in. They just dropped that ward. They got a nice vision of the red buff, so they're going to back off into the blue side and play defensive. But, you know, it's been reciprocated. If you look in their red side jungle, the two-man combo of Silver and Daddy have just got some vision of their own. So it's a bit of a danger zone for both junglers when they go for their second buff.
Yeah, they're going to be able to spot out if Hopping Mad and Tranquilio start in the top side, or if it's going to be the bot side start for the Zac. Looks like Silva and Daddy are going to team up, take down the Grump first, and maybe double jungle it up a bit, just in case a unexpected lane swap does come out. Puts Darius in the right position to be in that double jungle already, but pretty standard starts coming out, apart from the fact junglers starting on opposite side of the maps.
Yep. Pretty much. So they've avoided the vision that's been placed by the opposite man. There you go. Nick's already getting some harass onto Herdalis. Getting that Thunderlord's proc as well. So early on, he's going to do tons of damage. Kuzneo and Overload, they're going to take that Krug and hopefully get a level 2 advantage early in that bot lane to really start putting the pressure onto Divine Intervention.
Yeah, so Nyx is down the damage, but he's actually taking a lot of poke himself. The Luminosity being popped there by Herdalis, so not quite going in favor because not able to lay down the early pressure that I expect from a Lux. Overload actually taking a lot of poke as well. They do get the level 2 advantage, so they're going to try and make this happen. Don't land the hook. So unfortunately for them, that little spike that Thresh gets at level 2, not quite used.
But we could see a little bit of conflict here in the jungle. Hopping Mad's bash banner back off. It seems that Silver's onto his games. So he's just going to leave without that invade. And it's going to be that Silver's going to be picking up that second buff a little bit earlier than her opposite number, as Hopping Mad recalls to go and invest some of that early gold he's got.
Not sure what Hopping Mad was thinking. He's a Zac. Not quite got the invading potential of an Elise, for example. Interesting play coming out of the jungler from Divine Intervention. Probably expecting to
the hook from Overload, followed up by the Flay as well. Some damage coming down. Boomerang Blade come out. Heal being used by Kuznea 3 minutes into lane. And they've been poked under their tower.
Yeah, that engage from Overload looked good. They hooked in Bard, but Raz was just like, nah bruh, and they turned it right around. Spartacus able to do so much poke damage with the ricochet on his Silver. Also, another little stun there. Raz actually
stun lands. We also see Silver here. He lands the cocoon, and Raz is isolated with the rest of the members. First blood going over to Kuznea. I don't think they're going to be able to get it, but very closely. The second kill might be coming down here for Herdalis. He's going to drop down. Chain connects. Nyx is tanking the tower. The ignite goes down, and he's going to pick up a kill for himself in mid lane.
That was disrespect coming out of Lux in the mid lane. He knew that he was going to go very low, so he popped that barrier to try and prevent the damage, but Nyx with the Thunderlord decree plus the ignite allows him to pick up that kill, and Lux still with a flash. Could have easily got away from that one, but maybe expected Nyx to overcommit, take too many tower shots. Just didn't happen.
Well, it's going to be a bad time for Daddy in the top lane, possibly, though. Nice stun into the wall by Tranquilo. He might force the flash out of him there. Red buff is ticking away from Hopping Mad. Misses the heal, and then the flash goo explosion all over Daddy's face. It's resulted in his death.
Yeah, so Hopping Mad laying down the pressure. This is what we were talking about in Champion Select, that this matchup in the top lane could go either way. Darius with a slight advantage, but Hopping Mad laying down the pressure early means that Tranquilio on that Poppy with the fantastic stun into the wall to set up that gank, going to be very comfortable in this lane early on.
Yeah, Daddy burning that teleport just to get back to lane, and he's only able to pick up a Ruby Crystal and a Longsword. I dread to think of what Tranquilio is going to come back into this lane with, as Daddy looks to come around again, possibly getting into that bush, trying to catch him off guard.
Yeah, can Hopping Mad land the gank? Here comes the
Oh, he's
elastic
already
slingshot.
walked into
He
lane,
misses it.
overshoots it, and Tranquilo pushes him out of the way of the wall rather than into it. Silver's coming up as well. I don't think they're done here. There we go. Daddy's on top of Tranquilo. Gets that grasp of the Undying prop. Silver just standing in position. Throws the stun onto Hopping Man. He actually goes for the Zac, who still has passive available. Giving Tranquilio an escape with the dash. 5 stacks go down. At least cuts the execute damage on. And the tick picks up a kill for Daddy.
Mid lane though, Nick's going a bit aggressive onto the Lux. He got that level 6 early, so able to try and poke down the advantage. But fantastic play actually coming from Silware. Not quite sure he needed to cocoon Hopping Mad there. It would have been so much more effective if it was to land onto Tranquilio instead, but did not matter. The execute and the bleed damage from Darius, 5 stacks and the hemorrhage does so much, and they're able to pick up the return kill, so things are even. In fact, Daddy with a CS advantage.
Yeah, he's got the kill advantage. He's got the CS advantage. In the bot lane there. Oh, Overload gets the hook on the Raz. Nice flare as well. Kuznia fires out the Q, forces flash and heal out of the Divine Intervention bot lane. But here's Hopping Mad. He's looking for them to go aggressive. He's pulling the elastic slingshot. There we go. He's on the Kuznia. Gets the flash straight away. Flash for Chilling Smite. That's got to be worth.
Yeah, respect coming out of Kuznia. Spartacus stepping onto a trap. The hook is dodged mid lane though.
Oh, Hoderlis is in trouble. Nyx hasn't got any mana, but he finishes him off with a love tap. And down goes the Lux again. 2-0-0 for Nyx on this LeBlanc.
Nyx just dominating this Lux. Always a trouble. Lux meant to be a very safe champion in lane, able to farm from under the turret, but I don't believe Hey Dallas is respecting this one. Overload in the bot lane.
Oh, very simple, easy kill being picked up by the bot lane. Hopping Man needs to be careful here. He stepped onto a trap, nice bit of CC, the execute comes out, but now the blobs are going to try and reconsolidate inside this minion wave. It's a little bit of a nightmare to try and track him down, but Overload finds a way and picks up the kill for UoB TCA Storm.
It's 6-1, 12.7 to 9.2, 3k gold advantage for University of Birmingham as they're just pressuring out Divine Intervention quite early. Loving the pressure put down by Overload. It didn't go well for them early on. Ooh, Tranquilio.
Yeah, he's going to go for those 5 stacks. Channeling the ultimate, manages to hit Daddy and send him to safety. Gets himself out alive though. That's the main
Daddy
thing.
did not have the ultimate up there. Obviously used it earlier on in a bit of an engage. Nyx finds Hey Dallas.
Oh no, this is just not going to plan for Divine Intervention. Nyx already forcing Hodalis back out of lane when she only just got back onto the rift. And he's sitting on a hefty gold lead himself right now. Got himself a nice bit of... Oh, no he hasn't. My mistake, 500 gold is hefty in my books. Wish I had 500 gold.
Yeah, he has 1,000 gold advantage over the Lux. 30 CS in that mid lane as well as 2 kills. So very comfortable in the mid lane. Nyx is. He's got the Chalice. He's got the Codex. He's going to pick himself up an Amplifying Tone and Pink Ward and some health pots. So should be pretty happy in this mid lane going forward.
Absolutely. It seems like Hopping Mad has just been called down to his bot lane by Splattercuss and Raz, because we're seeing him put a lot of focus into it at the moment as he tries to sneak his way into those bushes. Obviously, he's got to be maxing that elastic slingshot just to get the range. Overload, trying to zone off Splattercuss, knowing his support isn't there for him, but they're unaware of Hopping Mad's presence, which could be their downfall if they continue on this aggressive path they've been playing so far. Here we go, Hopping Mad, he gets behind Kuznia, drops the Chilling Smite, the cabinet already used, but Overload from the side gives him a dark passage. Bard's got a passage of his own, he goes through solo, though, he gets flayed onto the trap, hooked back, the Ignite drops down. Another kill for Overload. Splattercuss doing his best to try and get this last kill. Last auto hit, but the flash flay keeps Kuznia alive. Splattercuss is going to go down with the ultimate, but Hopping Mad, he's overshot it again. And he only just picks up Kuznia with the auto attacks, but it's going to cost him his life. That's a double kill coming out for Daddy.
That's a fantastic teleport for Daddy. The flash flay onto Spartacus as soon as that spell shield went down meant that Kuznia was able to survive for just a bit longer. Obviously, the overshot slingshot did come to fruition. Hopping Mad did pick up a kill. He's still level 5 compared to the level 7 of Silver, as University of Birmingham will pick up their first dragon 10 minutes into this game. They've got themselves a 5k gold lead, Trid, and things are going very well for this team of Birmingham.
Yeah, it's no Smurferino, please, apparently, for Divine Intervention. They were legitimate ranks as well. You can see from the borders, we got Plat, Gold, and Silver from last season. So I don't think we were going to see this amazing master tier team just come down and wipe the floor with University of Birmingham with their, foresight to start ranking these accounts up, like a month ago to try and get themselves to a position where they could go, yeah, we're gold, and then play that mind game. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And so we're starting to see that University of Storm now are going to try and take this away.
University of TCA here, coming in to sponsor victory. TCA, a fantastic institution. I personally studied memes there, which was fantastic. Daddy in the top lane going to get caught out.
Yeah, absolutely. The ultimates come down. Divine Intervention, bless them. They're doing their best to get these victories where they can, and they're having moderate success. But Daddy's got the heal. Drops the dunk on the Hopping Mad, gets one. I don't think he's going to be able to take out Tranquilio, so he's going to have to go for the heal. He's got the 5th stack. He has the ult reset, though, but it's not enough. The ranged auto attack coming out from Poppy picks up the kill and levels it out.
Meanwhile, mid lane is going to be Nyx once again taking out the Lux. So that is a rampage, 4-0 in this mid lane. Kuznir and Overload in the mid lane trying to catch this out.
Oh, Tempered Fate locks him down, but all it needs is a golden corpse.
Oh.
But then interrupts the ultimate with the stun. Just barred things, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I love this champion. Just such a chill champion who can not only hurt his allies, but hurt the enemies and hurt his allies. It's very useful in solo queue, I tell you that now.
Yeah, no, I can imagine you using that to great success, Trid. You got a trolling top laner, just Divine Intervention as he goes for CS. Prevent him from getting that just whenever you want to. Turret will go down.
Yeah, turret's gone down. I was going to say the biggest support troll I got is for the enemy team. You play Alistar, you max the heal. When they go to the last hit, you heal the minion wave so they miss it.
You do that on Soraka as well. I've seen that happen.
Yeah. It's the best way to put an enemy bot lane on tilt is to just keep healing the CS so they miss it by one auto attack.
Hopping Mad in the mid lane. The Mimic is available. He's going to just jump back to his lane. Here comes Raz as well. Misses the stun, or the slow as it would have been. There was no walls available. Overload now here in the mid lane.
Going aggressive, takes a little bit of tower, finds Hopping Mad, flays him back out. Damage just being blown onto him. Final Spark hits no one. Nyx exhausted on a whisper of health. Has to flash out. Zach's going to use that passive to great effect and get back together again as they survive, but not by much.
Yeah, Nyx went extremely low there. It's a shame the Final Spark missed for Lux. Wasn't able to secure anything there. Now it's going to be University of Birmingham aggressing onto the Lux. Hopping Mad has the Elastic Slingshot. Will he go?
Oh, Nyx read him like a book. Uses that second charge to get away. Silver's going to have to back up as well. But it looks like Hopping Mad's going to live through that despite all the damage that came out. It's unfortunate that we haven't got any extremely long-range abilities coming out for University of Birmingham right now, because Jinx Rocket would have been perfect right about now.
Yeah, well, imagine if Kuznir was playing Jin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully one of those would have hit Hopping Mad.
He probably would only need the one.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Raz, please, you're a bard. Don't do this. Don't do it. It's just not worth it.
Nyx was tempted to go in there. University of Birmingham, such low health. Playing a little bit aggressive. Here comes Nyx.
Oh! That's why you pick Bard into LeBlanc. If you throw the Q out and it has the damage to hit the Mirage, fun fact, it goes through and hits the second clone and causes the stun after the damage comes out. Many a times I have used that to kill a greedy LeBlanc, such as Nyx.
That was fantastic there by Raz. Knowing the champion interactions there, I didn't realize you could use the stun onto the Mirage of LeBlanc, but you learn things every day.
Yeah.
And Nyx, greedy, falls down, gets shut down. Nice little piece of gold going over to Divine Intervention.
Max range hook by Overload though, flays him out under the tower, but we haven't got that LeBlanc there anymore, so there's not the mobility. Final Spark comes out, Kuznir! Only just living, gets that tower, but is going to have to run for his life.
University of Birmingham, they're playing a very dangerous game here. They don't have to. They're 7k up. They've got 2 turret advantage. First dragon secured for themselves. The next one will be coming up in just a bit. But they're not respecting that Divine Intervention are actually capable of killing them. You know, obviously when Nyx is full health, Lux has to be very careful. The combo missed from Nyx, so won't kill him there. But University of Birmingham playing very, very aggressively, very, very dangerously. Could be their downfall if Divine Intervention is able to turn something around and look at
Oh my, what did they do? There we go, the mastery emote comes out for Nyx. But they have so much damage, they clear it in a second anyway. I think that was just a demonstration of their force.
Yeah, well, that's Runic Echo for you. Nice hook there.
Finds the hook, drops the Dark Passage. Flash brings him out over the wall, and it looks like he's going to have to take that magical journey to safety. With no vision, looks like UoB aren't going to follow it. Silver and Daddy going to clear out that pink ward and back off.
We're going to go for this Rift Herald here, but looks at University of Birmingham picking up a bit of advantage. Splaticus using that on the hunt to escape Nyx, probably well respected as well, as Nyx actually going to try and re-engage. The chain hits the spell shield, so now Nyx has to be careful. Ooh.
Oh, he's got nothing. Throws down a Tempered Fate. They just got to combo something off of this now. Q's coming out. Nyx has the damage though. The exhaust is dropped. The rest of the team is here. There we go. Ace in the hole coming out. Hits Raz mid-tunnel. Kuzni is on the rear end of it though. He hasn't got the range to get it. There's a bit of a cluster show happening at the end of the tunnel. Somehow it's Kuznir who finds a kill at the end of it.
Yeah, I think I think that if Divine Intervention had a little bit more damage, if this Lux wasn't so shut down, that would have been an amazing play for Divine Intervention. But she is 0 and 5, so gonna struggle to lay down the damage. Nice play there by Raz, but when your mid laner is shut down, it didn't mean anything for them.
I don't know what they're gonna have to be a bit careful here. They have got vision of them. Raz throws out the stun. He should know the range better. That one's never gonna land. Looks like University of Birmingham, they're gonna end up going for this dragon now, and they're pretty much uncontested towards it at this point.
Yeah, University of Birmingham playing in the objectives game. They got themselves the Rift Herald, went over to Silwa, so they can use that to try and pressure some of the turrets. They've got themselves the second dragon now. 8k gold in the lead with the 2 turret advantage that they have, and they're just trying to push in Divine Intervention with all these neutral objectives, try and get the gold leads via them. Hopefully for Divine Intervention, they might find a way back into this game. There's a lot of gold in those turrets available for them if they were able to group up and take them, but University of Birmingham currently just laying down so much pressure.
Nyx gets the max range leash. Overload has a leash of his own. Flay's hopping mad out of the jump he planned, using his ultimate to try and get away. Silver's in hot pursuit right now. Ace in the hole's going to come out. That's not going to have the damage to kill. Nice little healing shrine for the movement speed. Throws down the max percent damage again. Hopping mad, hops himself to safety. The Q comes out though, manages to pick up the passive. It's just a waste of time. Can they kill the blobs, or will the blobs reform? Kuznia 4, 1, and 5 off the back of a kill.
Yeah, and they've got the turret here now, because Tranquilio and Hopping Mad are down. The sole engage pretty much of Divine Intervention if you ignore the Tempered Fate from Raz. And they can just pressure down so easily onto this inhibitor turret. They probably won't be able to secure it, as their health bars are pretty low. But they're able to put down a bit of pressure. Those traps there prevent... oh, here we go.
Oh, Nyx going a little bit ballsy there. Flash distortion over that wall. Picks up Hurdleless again. 0-6 and 1. Sad boys. Real sad boys.
It goes for Splaticus as well, but didn't quite have the combo ready for
He's
him.
going to do it again, because that spell shield is on a longer cooldown than Nyx's combo is. Pops the passive with the boomerang blade. Daddy brings Hopping Mad back over the wall. Overload's trying to do the same. Keep him there, but Nyx, he went back again. Called it. Took out Splaticus while Daddy picks up another kill onto Hopping Mad.
Now they can definitely take this inhibitor turret and the inhibitor. We're only 20 minutes into the game, mind you, and there's a solid 13k gold lead for University of Birmingham, just completely pushing Divine Intervention out of this game. And Nyx, really the sole carrier of his team currently, 6-1 and 3. Say that, you know, Kuznir and Silwa aren't doing damage, but if Nyx wants to kill someone, he kills someone.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire story of this game right now. 6-1 and 3. I don't think there's a single player on Divine Intervention that can stand up to this power of LeBlanc in the hands of Nyx. And so they really gonna have to take at least 2 of them to do it. Hurdless trying for the chance to steal his blue buff back. Unfortunately, didn't land it. I don't think he's got a single blue buff this game, just based off of the fact that there's been no control over Divine Intervention's jungle.
And if I was a jungler, I wouldn't be giving him a blue buff anyway. It's much more useful on Hopping Mad. He's got less deaths to his name, and hopefully be able to transfer the cooldown reduction maybe into a kill. Hurdless just kind of tilted a little bit. Has got himself a chalice and a needlessly large rod. And as well as the Ace for Whist, hasn't actually built himself a full item as Raz called out. Well, not caught out.
It's Bard. You're never caught out as Bard. There's always an escape.
There's always a wall that you can flash towards to use your magical journey.
Yep, use the medical journey. You can temper fate yourself if it's off cooldown. You can stun the enemy to get away. Hopping Mad standing I take what I said back. Hopping Mad can stand a little bit toe to toe with Nyx there, resisting the damage and putting a little bit of his own. Daddy's the recipient of some well-needed CC. But Hopping Mad, he gets pulled back onto Daddy's lap yet again. Long-range Bard stun just coming out there to lock up Daddy and stop this pursuit. Flashes everywhere. Silver's damage, though, was potentially enough to kill Hurdless, but another Bard stun coming out from Raz.
Yeah, the Cosmic Bindings have been so good by Raz, but it does not really matter. Tempered Fate trying to stop this push doesn't actually hit the turret, which would have been a much better target. Now it's going to be Tranquilio taken down. Overload picks up the kill.
Yeah, they're just going to do the thing. This could be the game, but they don't have a minion wave to follow up with. All members of University of Birmingham, apart from Kuznia, who just has ridiculous sustain at the moment, is really feeling the hurt. Hopping Mad decides he's going to go into 5 members of the team. Doesn't have passive. He's going to go down. Kuznia, he's just tanking tower shots for some reason. Nyx goes onto the back line, doesn't quite get the kill, gets an exhaust for his troubles though. Second Nexus turret down. Raz drops again. Overload, this is the part of the game. The game's over, ladies and gentlemen. University of Birmingham, TCA Storm have won this round 4 match against Divine Intervention. What you see now is the pinnacle of clown fiestas as the game decides it is going to end. But all in all, GG well played to Divine Intervention. They put in a great effort with really some phenomenal play from Raz on that Bard. Yeah. Definitely the saving grace of that team, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, like, if Headless wasn't so far behind, he did pick up that Luden's Echo right towards the end, but if he wasn't so far behind, Raz's Bard was actually really decently played. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to do much for his team. It was just the ultimate pressure that came around from Daddy, as well as Nyx, Silva in that game. Kozner as well, so fed, and if you look at damage dealt after that game, it will most likely be Nyx who had the most. Actually, no, Kozner on that Caitlyn, able to lay down that consistent damage. Nyx shortly after, but University of Birmingham just laying down so much damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, I believe we're going to have our first semi-final of the night. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back shortly.